Yo, what is up? Welcome back to a Stiff Receipt. Hopefully everyone is good.
Hopefully.
So, I think this week, I say we start with the AEW stuff because I am just like
a little spicier.
way too excited about everything that's going on with AEW. And that way, if we run out of time, that way if we run out of time, we won't have to cut into the AEW stuff. We can cut the WWE stuff because that doesn't matter.
Well, AEW was or WWE was a shit show this fucking week.
To be fair, there's a lot of awesome WWE stuff happening, but like
Raw was weird.
A lot of the WWE kind of stuff was a little bit smaller of stuff, but.
Well, true, yeah.
Dude, I definitely do want to talk about Backlash though, because that was a huge surprise.
Again, I would like to repeat what I told you the name of this podcast should be, which is an apology to the people of Puerto Rico.
That was an amazing show.
Because I'm still gonna make fun of you for being Puerto Rican because you're a weird state. It's not a state. It's a principle. It's a fucking whatever territory. But they're like, they think of themselves as their own country. It's like, but we pay for everything. But whatever, it's fine. You're fine. And that was a fucking dope show. But anyways,
yes. Before I want to do the Backlash stuff. There's like, so the AEW shit, right? So when we recorded the last podcast, AEW. In the pre-sale had sold 35,000 tickets to All In. That was the pre-sale. The tickets hadn't actually gone live yet by the time we recorded that. And as of yesterday, All In is at 68,000 ticket sales, which is crazy, dude. That's so fucking insane.
That reminds me of something here. It's like, yeah, no, that's insane.
I can't even
fucking nuts.
It's definitely already way exceeded what I thought it was going to do.
Oh, those pre-sales were what I was expecting numbers to be.
Right, I was expecting at most we'd see maybe 40, 45, but no, 68. Yeah. Are you kidding me?
68, and
we still got time.
August. That's August when that starts. That's when that happens. So yeah,
exactly.
Fuck, dude.
One thing that's that whole thing. That's another thing. There's not a single match that has been announced for that show.
No,
not a match.
No matches.
68,000 tickets without actually having a single match on the cards.
That is literally, hey guys, we're gonna be there. We'll figure out what we're doing when we get there, but we're coming.
Like,
fucking sweet.
These people don't give a shit. It's like you could have fucking goddamn Chris Jericho just ride around on a unicycle for 4 hours, and I'm sure everybody would fucking still buy tickets.
Okay, I would watch that. I would watch Chris Jericho on a unicycle for 4 hours. Because he would probably also be talking about how he does everything differently and how he's developing his new fucking comic book and everything. It'd be weird.
Yeah.
But it would just be like an interview.
He'd unveil a new trademark for his 30-second gimmick and all that.
Yeah, and his fucking Painmaker he'll reveal some more NFTs while fucking fireworks go off and Fozzy plays in the background. Yeah. It'll be a 4-hour extravaganza. You'll be like, this sucks, but it's fucking fun somehow.
One thing that's that's been a negative about this is Double or Nothing. So Double or Nothing is the 28th here in like a few weeks.
Yes.
The ticket sales for Double or Nothing have been abysmal. They've been really bad. And as of I forget what the total sales were, like 7,000 or something like that. And in this past 30 days, only less than 250 tickets have been sold in the last 30 days.
You, I'm looking. Again, be honest about everything. It's I don't know, man. It's not like I'm looking forward to it.
I mean, I'm sure it'll be good, but I think with all, especially the hype of like All In and whatnot, I think that might have taken a little bit away from Double
I really
Nothing.
do think that unhyped
Less
some
people
are
going to travel across the country and whatnot if they've already got tickets for going all the way over to Wembley, And
if we're doing Double or Nothing at this point, people People might be saving to go travel to a different show.
Right, and like,
To
do
oh,
people
I don't know,
really,
the middle of June or some shit.
do people really want to go to Vegas, like, to see a wrestling show? Like, I don't know.
If
I
you're
feel
in
like
Vegas
it's
and
the
the wrestling
gimmick,
show
right?
is
It's
there, that's
always in
different.
Vegas, right?
Yeah, that's
So,
because
like,
it's all in. Or
right.
it's not all in.
No,
It's
double
or
nothing.
nothing.
But like,
That's where they started it. So.
right. So it's like, I feel like that's the gimmick. But like for me, like I wouldn't go to Vegas to go see a wrestling show with the intent of seeing a wrestling show. If I lived near Vegas, it'd be different. But like,
If I was planning a vacation to Vegas for some reason, like,
yeah,
like I get married, we have a honeymoon. We decide for some dumb reason to go to Vegas, and there's something going on there. That's why you get a ticket
I feel
to a
like
show.
if there's like, I don't know, like if there's like a big random pay-per-view in like the middle of Texas or Missouri or fucking Louisiana or something, like
That's
I
not
would
the same thing.
much rather go there.
Well, true.
Than
I would rather go to
Vegas,
those too.
right?
Yeah,
I
but
feel like Vegas is weird.
Vegas is weird just because it's not normally a wrestling town.
Right.
It's not a place that you think of when it comes to wrestling. Name any fucking thing else, and that's Vegas. I mean, it's now even football,
right?
With the Raiders being there, so it's just a weird place that's not traditionally a town for people to go and watch wrestling.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's indie places there that do stuff. That's cool, but it's not the same. And I'd expect some place like Biloxi, Mississippi, or some shit like that, or some fucking Alabama, like third tier city to have some weird pay-per-view before I'd think Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And that's fine, but like
maybe it's time to drop the gimmick.
And I think it is.
Somewhere else.
I think really,
I think
really
kinda,
honestly, they need to.
Yeah, I think this
just
kind of it, like shows. I mean, Tony Khan, he ain't an idiot, and I'm sure like seeing these ticket sales and whatnot for Double Nothing, he's probably thinking the same thing. It's like, all right, well, it's probably time to move on from this.
Listen, this isn't Vegas of the 50s.
Yeah.
Where it's a happening fucking place. You know, back when it was run by the mob. So like it's not a cool place to go. Nobody thinks to go to Vegas. People our age don't go, you know what, I'm gonna go fucking Vegas and go party. Not anymore. We did it like 20.
Yeah.
No one fucking cares about Vegas anymore. It's not the same.
Right. That and AEW obviously doesn't have as big of a child audience as WWE does, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Vegas is definitely not a child place.
You say that, but they have two separate fucking advertising things for Vegas. There's always like the ones that are like come to this place, and it's like families and kids, and you can go see family stuff. And then the other one is what happens in Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, which is the breakup of the American family. I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Whatever. It's just like, I don't think I want to go to Vegas for anything, much of anything at all, unless I was like, hey, there's somebody here that wants to like meet up for business or something. Yeah. If that was a thing. Like that would be different. All right, I got to go to Vegas. Got to talk to somebody who's there. It's just not someplace I want to go. Not even for wrestling.
Yeah. It does make me wonder, like, Double or Nothing 2022.
I feel like they said they were
the attendance was almost 15,000. So this is gonna do a lot less. 100% guaranteed.
That is so fucking bad. Well, I know that we're gonna see declines, but I think it's a decline from people not wanting to spend as much, and the fact that it's in Vegas.
This is almost half of it.
It's
like cut in half.
No, you're right. It's like 2 or 3 different things happening for that to happen. People are less able, like probably right now we're getting down to people having less just expendable income. That's happening right now, regardless of anything. You're also looking at what are we excited for Double or Nothing? I don't know. We're like 3 weeks out, and I'm going, what's going to be on this fucking pay-per-view? That I want to watch.
Another thing, that's something that annoys me on a regular basis is like I feel like we're doing the 3 pay-per-view or 3 months for a pay-per-view thing, but we're still only filling the match card up in like the last few weeks before the pay-per-view. Bro, we got 3 fucking months. Like, why are we squeezing everything at the last minute?
It does feel like we're saying, like they're leading towards that kind of logically, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. You motherfuckers can do anything at this point. I don't know what's gonna happen. So,
Yeah.
like, give me some solid information here or something. But at least this close, and you don't have to do it 3 months ago. But like now you do.
I had to check because I'm like, well, surely there's been more than just that one match announced, right? Nope.
What was? There's only just the
one,
Four Pillars match.
Yep, that's it. That's
Jesus
the only match,
Christ.
and that shit is on the 28th.
Oh.
So yeah, I don't get why they keep doing that. It's weird.
It's so weird. It's almost like Tony has no idea what he's doing anymore. It's like he had 3 years worth of shit built up,
Yeah.
and now he's just like, oh fuck, what's happening? Oh well. I'm sure they'll pull something out our ass.
Yeah. But the other big thing is literally like in the past handful of hours. So earlier today, it went from like a rumor that AEW had a new Warner deal and whatnot, and then of course Twitter's like, oh, blah, 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 it's just a rumor, like nobody's gonna pay this and that and whatever. Well, now, in the past like couple hours or so, you're seeing all of the big wrestling news guys all post about it and write reports on it. So it's like, so from what I've gathered is apparently, allegedly, AEW has signed a deal with Warner. They were saying $1 billion deal. I think that's fucking crackhead shit. I don't see that being reality. But the deal is for show exclusivity, pay-per-view streaming. So now it's starting to make sense because remember they canceled Dark Elevation, but then it also came out that they're also canceling regular Dark. They did that because Warner, it's like, if we're gonna have this shit, it's gotta be exclusive to here, and that's why they're doing away with the YouTube shows, because Warner wants all of the AEW on their channels, which
it's either ours or it's nothing but.
It's just one of those. It's like, it kind of sucks, but like, it's not that big a deal, I guess, and it's very much expected. So
like, it's not that bad. Everything about this really doesn't like surprise me.
There's nothing like, even the negative stuff isn't even that big of a deal.
Oh, we don't get Dark and Dark Elevation. Right. Oh well.
So
I didn't watch it anyway.
So the structure, the format for everything now, because this is allegedly going to be announced not tonight, but the next Wednesday. Alongside,
is it the way that they're filming everything?
Alongside, well, just how they're going to like view everything. But
oh right, gotcha.
Next,
oh my bad.
Not tonight, but the next Wednesday is allegedly when they're going to announce the Warner deal and the new Collision show. But of course, this is the third time they've said that that Tony Khan was going to announce the new show. So at this point, I don't fucking know what's going to happen. But so
I think that since we're on the I can't remember what they're called. They're TV Upside or something like that. I don't remember.
I don't know.
Whatever they call them, whatever the word is for it. I knew as soon as that was coming, that was when it was going to be announced. And the fact that they said it was right now, it's already done. That's fine. I said it to you. You and I said the exact same thing when we were looking at that rumor that started today, where it was like $1 billion for all this. It was like everything else makes sense. That $1 billion.
The $1 billion thing sounds
bullshit.
The only thing that would make sense with the $1 billion thing is the pay-per-view streaming, because
no, it's gonna be multiple hundreds of millions of dollars. Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
Like the pay-per-view, if they get exclusivity to the pay-per-view streaming rights, like that would make more sense. But even then, I still feel like $1 billion is too much. Like that's too big of a number.
Like, I think it'll be north of 500 million, somewhere north in that area, going towards $1 billion. But I don't think it's gonna be anywhere like. It's going to be somewhere up in that area, like 6, 7, somewhere in there, but not close enough to $1 billion to make it.
All I know is I fucking hope that all that is true, because if I can get away with not having to spend fucking $50 fucking pay-per-view, that'd be great. And see, this is another thing.
Who else is Warner's part of something? I can't remember what they are.
I don't remember.
Brothers, is it WBD or something like that?
So this is another thing that went through my head. We had talked about it before. All In, right? That's, what was that, August? and then it was announced that All Out was going to be a week after. And nobody's going to pay $50 twice within a week of each other. So
this makes way more sense.
This makes more sense now. If this ends up being the case and then ends up going to streaming services, you pay, you know, for the month, and then you wouldn't have to buy both pay-per-views. You would just, it'd be a part of whatever streaming service. But that would make a lot more sense for them having 2 pay-per-views in the span of, like, you know, 7 days. So that
let me
makes this feel like even more like a reality because of that alone.
So I'm looking at the Wikipedia page because I'm trying to remember what all they have.
Yeah.
And the assets that they have right now for Warner Brothers is literally, it's Discovery now. It's Discover Warner.
So it'd be on
Warner Brothers Discovery
Plus or whatever?
No, I think they're also HBO because it's Warner Brothers, and everything with Warner Brothers goes to HBO Max or whatever. Yeah,
God, I really don't want to pay for HBO Max.
Casey Bloys, Chairman, CEO, HBO Max. They're going to consolidate them together. Everything from Warner Brothers Discovery is going to be on one app.
I can't really complain. I don't want to pay for HBO Max because it's so much more expensive, but it's still.
Well, it's not going to be.
Less
if anything,
money.
it'll be. If anything, it'll be HBO Max with all of the other stuff. So that's like Cartoon Network.
Well, if they if they combine it with like
literally
because they've
all
got
of it.
They've got all the other streaming services as well. They just combine it into one like super service or whatever.
That's
and
what
then maybe
they're doing
charge
because
less
they have
money.
because they have that. They have Warner Brothers. They have all of the stuff for Discovery. Discovery, I think, also bought NBC, if I remember correctly. Or they bought CNN. I remember that. I'm trying to remember who else they
NBC
got.
Peacock or which one's Peacock?
That's Peacock is NBC, but
Yeah.
for some reason I thought they bought NBC.
I don't think so.
I think so. I think you're right. They brought something. It was Discovery and something else, and I can't remember. But there was a whole bunch of stuff that they're putting all together. It's basically like whatever Warner Brothers has.
Yeah.
And apparently consolidation of Cartoon Networks and Warner Brothers Animation. That's what it was. That whoever they had Cartoon Network before and whoever owned that, that's now all going to Warner Brothers, and that's all part of Warner Brothers with Discovery and shit.
Yeah.
And that's all going on an app with HBO and like, BT Sports and stuff like that. So the stuff that's in Europe that they have BT Sports and stuff, that's going on there. So all of that is going together.
They consolidate that all together under one app and make it not $25 a month. That would be fucking great because I really
that
don't
would be great.
That. But even if they didn't and it was still $25 a month, you'd only have to buy it for that 1 month, and it would still be half the price of a full pay-per-view. So
yeah,
I guess I can't really complain.
The only reason I know all this is because this has been coming down the pipe for stuff with comic book movies and stuff like that for DC and Warner Brothers and all the stuff that they're doing, because a lot of their stuff is going together because the guy David Zaslav is the head of over DC and stuff like that in Piazza. They kind of think the same. So what they're trying to do is just consolidate everything together and be like, we're one. You can come here for everything.
Yeah.
All the movies that HBO has, all the stuff that Warner Brothers.
You mean like how everything was before when everybody didn't have 16 different streaming services?
Yes. Yes. Fucking yes.
I love how we're going in this like we're in an eternal loop, the fucking circle.
Well, no, that's what it is. It's not even that because there's the thing about it is content creation goes everywhere. And then you can see this with wrestling. It's indies. Indies are indies.
Yep.
So anything that's independent stays independent. That's fine. It's just all the stuff at the top circles and cycles around.
Yep.
And it just goes places and gets broken up and goes back together. And now we're at a point where I think there's like 5 companies that own everything that you watch on television and everything that you read in print. 5 companies, and one of those is Disney. So think about that for a second. So yeah, it's as fucked up as that conversation got. It's gonna be good. I think it'll be fine. And I think it'll work better for like the all in, all out that thing. Hopefully by then it'll be good or something. They'll have something in place.
Like, that didn't make sense, but now if this is all true, that would make a whole lot more sense. I feel like that makes this feel a little bit more like a reality.
I do. And knowing what I know from the other side of things, from the TV and like the other stuff in the movies, it is a thing where this is gonna happen. And I knew as soon as it was Warner Brothers and they were redoing things, I'm like, they're gonna get picked up for everything. They want to be able to say we have this. And it's the other thing that we've talked about, how AEW, they don't perform the way that WWE does. They don't have the numbers, but they're consistently the highest rate of the most watched TV all the time. They do exactly what Warner asked them to, what TNT asked them to. They exceed or meet expectations on a regular basis.
That's what's funny about the numbers and shit is like right now AEW and WWE are competing against their biggest competitor, and that competitor is not each other, it's the fucking NBA playoffs.
Yeah,
like,
that's really what the competition is.
That is where they're fighting. That's what they're fighting against right now, because not only are AEW's ratings down, so are WWE's.
They're fighting against not only was that, it was like NBA and NHL at the same time.
Yeah,
was happening. So everything just plummeted because you have people either watching basketball or hockey.
Yeah,
that was it. So
that's the competitor right now. They're not each other.
The problem with wrestling is that their competition isn't scripted shit. Their competition is mainly sports.
Yeah,
because it may be fake the outcomes, but they're still hitting the shit out of each other. It's still a sport in some way, and it's the same audiences a lot of times, so people are going to turn on NBA instead, and that's a more established thing. Yeah. People talk about not as many people talk about wrestling, which is unfortunate, but so that's always the main thing that they have to go up against is and it's really bad for AEW, because AEW is consistently fighting their own fucking network.
Yep.
For basketball and
Rampage, especially
baseball.
Because I feel like Rampage has not been at its normal time slot hardly at all in the past couple months. It's always at like this random ass fucking time.
I don't remember the last time it was at its normal time.
Well,
and if it was at its normal time, I don't watch it.
Well, that goes into like the new structure of everything, right? So we've got Dark and Dark Elevation, which is now done. It's gone because Warner wants exclusivity to the AEW like stuff, but that makes sense.
Right. Okay.
So Dynamite, obviously the main show, as it has been. It still be the main show. Then we'll have Collision, the new show. That will be allegedly on Saturday or whatever. That is going to be like the SmackDown to, the Raw of AEW. Right. Yes. And you'll have the soft split of the brand, CM Punk on Collision and whatnot. Never, sometimes people go over to Dynamite. Sometimes Dynamite people will be over on there.
That whole explanation from fucking Meltzer to go over.
It's just a whole, it's whatever. But those
are gonna be
the two shows, like the big shows. I'm assuming Collision will also be 2 hours, just like Dynamite. That leaves Rampage, which hasn't been doing as well, because quite frankly, it's in a shit time slot on probably the worst day of the week that it could be on.
Absolutely.
But so Rampage is going to be like how like WWF Heat was.
Oh, that was what I was trying to remember was the name of the fucking show that they talked about. It was a Heat.
So Rampage made me
laugh so hard.
Rampage will be more of the replacement for Dark. And I feel like a lot of what we see on Rampage, that's probably what we'll see on Collision instead. So, kind of neat, because the Rampage, I'm assuming at least for now, it'll stay on as a televised thing, and that will be where all of the, the talent that are not as, big will probably go to do stuff. And I'm all for that, but it's also, it's an hour. So there's not a lot you can do in an hour, which they've shown time and time again, but
the Heat thing makes way more sense now, too.
Yeah. And the other thing they're talking about, this deal is specifically for AEW, the AEW branded show. This is not for Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor, the format for that is what at least what is being said is Ring of Honor will be the place where the indie guys come in and do random shit. So I'm assuming that means we'll get less of that on like Dynamite and Collision, Because I feel like we get a lot of that. So removing that entirely
Yeah, a
would
lot
be
of weird indie stuff.
would be kind of strange. I doubt we'll see it removed entirely, but
No, they're still always gonna have somebody to pop a crowd.
so because you know, I don't know. Like I feel like because now I feel like now we're getting more like networky, like how the WWE is, where it's like the network maybe they want certain big stars to be on the TV, and maybe they're trying to get Tony to do more of the indie guys on Ring of Honor because of that. But I don't know. I said this is all none of this is like a confirmed thing, anyways. But you know,
I think if that's what they're going down, it's kind of, I don't know, makes sense. It makes more sense than just like trying to get the WWE network thing going on or that kind of comparison. And here's why. AEW is the place where the indies go to get big and be big. And Ring of Honor is just the big indies. It's a different thing. And Ring of Honor is supposed to be that. It's supposed to feel that way. It's supposed to feel like anybody comes in, all these people from Ring of Honor are always here, but there's anybody that can show up and be here because it's just that. So do you really want a TV company coming in and telling those people who can and can't be there? No, I want a lot of people to show up randomly. I like that on Ring of Honor. On AEW, maybe it's not necessary. Maybe we have the guy that's there for a quick match to pop a rating.
Right.
You know, have another Action Andretti or whatever his name is. Does that guy still exist?
I don't know. He was like red hot for like a few weeks and then just
I haven't
disappeared.
seen him in a while, man. Nobody fucking cares anymore. No one said anything about him either. I haven't seen shit about him anywhere.
I know.
But like, it's just like that's fun to have once in a while or like once a night. They don't have to have so many indie people showing up. And if you have a place for that, that can at least get the interest for people to know where it's at because it's still associated with AEW. So you can see those people and then you can get a reaction on, hey, who should we take up to the roster? So it does kind of work like NXT a little bit. But like it's separate and it's just kind of how those brands should be. AEW should be an alternative to WWE. Ring of Honor should be Ring of Honor. You shouldn't change that for anything because it's special. And Ring of Honor is fun. So I like that they're not doing that possibly. So that's fine with me.
So, well, that is, you know, that's pretty much the gist of things, the AEW stuff today. As I said, that's kind of a big deal, especially if we get the pay-per-views as part of a streaming service.
That'd be nice.
Like, god damn, like I do not.
The only reason NBC gets $5 a month out of me is because I can watch WWE.
Peacock is the only streaming service that I pay for, and Peacock, as far as I'm concerned, is the only streaming service worth paying $5 a month for, because it has, you got the entirety of the WWE alone is worth more than $5 as far as I'm concerned. But then you've got all of the fucking just, there's all kinds of movies and shit on there, and like all of the big like TV shows and whatnot, and it's $5.
That's Paramount. Never mind.
Why am I shouldn't be advertising for Peacock.
Stop
They're not paying me.
Chilling. Listen, NBC, I'm okay with you chucking money at us. Please, we will shill. I have no problem. People know. It's fine.
So, all right. So, I have two things I want to go on a small rant about.
Oh, no.
So, the first thing. All right. So, we had this stupid fucking draft for the WWE. That's all done and said and whatever. We're past that. Okay.
Right?
The goddamn next fucking day after that shit ended, WWE tweeted out, Cody Rhodes is gonna be on SmackDown. I'm like, bro, it's not even been like a day. You drafted him to Raw. You guys said that this was gonna be exclusive so much, and I tweeted out, well, the draft didn't last long. And the amount of people that like replied to that tweet saying, "Oh, you must not be able to listen well because Triple H said it doesn't go into effect till the 8th." What the fuck happened on the 8th? We got a fucking World Heavyweight title tournament announced where 6 fucking people from SmackDown are going to be in it. What do these idiots have to say about that?
for a title that's supposed to be exclusive
Raw
to
exclusive to Raw. So it's like, what the fuck? Like, oh, what do you morons have to say about that?
It's the same thing that we talked about the other day. It's the same shit with the WWE marks. Like, it's fine if you want to call me whatever, but like, dude,
People
stop. It's
man.
not that fucking serious, dude. You don't have to be like, you know what's happening. You know what you're going to get when you go here. Why do you still continue to think you're going to get anything different? Why do you continue to think that things are going to change when obviously they're not? We know why it's like this. It's because there's still that fucker with the weird mustache involved.
Yep.
You random mustache you never had before. I just don't get that. Whatever.
So
it's
the other
that's
thing.
the reason.
The other thing that I have a mild rant. It's not even really a rant. It's just more of like I can't believe it, but I'm also not surprised at the same time. So Vince, they had that big lawsuit against Vince for, you know, the sexual shit, and like he gave people, you know, hush money and all this shit.
It's been a week. I forgot that existed.
No, that's different. That was the new lawsuit. This is the old one.
No. Oh, the old one?
The original one, the one where he that made him retire. That lawsuit.
Yeah.
So, okay.
About that one.
So that lawsuit, they dropped it against Vince McMahon. And I'm like, what? Why?
It's because they paid her off again.
They discovered it's like they decided that, well, there's no reason to continue the lawsuit because Vince McMahon had covered all of the legal fees that they spent investigating him. And I'm like, okay, hold up, time out. So you guys sued him for the sexual harassment stuff and him paying hush money to people. Then he pays you money. And then you're like, oh, well, he paid us now for all of our trouble, so we'll just drop the lawsuit. Am I crazy, or is that the dumbest shit you've ever heard in your life?
Can I be honest with you?
Like,
that's fucking normal.
It's just dumbfounding to me.
That happens every day, and it's happening in an industry that you care about.
That's the thing.
That happens.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I started this off. It's like I'm just dumbfounded and surprised, but also this is like doesn't shock me at all. Like that should be the least shocking thing. I knew it's weird.
As soon as nothing continued to be talked about, and as soon as everybody forgot about the other lawsuit,
he covered all the expenses and everything, so they're just like, fuck it, whatever.
Everybody's getting paid off. Everybody's getting a nice chunk of fucking money, and this is going away because he still wants to be Walt Disney for wrestling.
Looking more and more like him each day.
Well, I'm just looking at the Wikipedia page for WWE, and I'm just going to say this. I don't think you want people looking up your company if you really want to be honest, because there's not just you. I don't know. Maybe we need to talk about Jimmy Superfly Snuka for a minute, and the fact that you covered up. He killed a woman. I don't care what anybody says, actionable or not. He fucking killed somebody, and you covered it up.
Different times. Murder was well, you could kill people back then, and it wasn't as big of a deal. Come on now.
Sure. You can just say he didn't speak English, and everybody fucking forgets about it. Oh God, I hate that. I hate the man. I hate him. God.
It's just the worst. But all right, before we do run out of time, we need to talk about Backlash, because Backlash was one of the
Puerto Rico. You lovely people are wonderful, and you're also weird, and it's a weird place because you're sort of America, but you're not. I don't know. It's weird. Wonderful show. Guys were fantastic crowd.
It was one of those
Thank you for showing people what crowds should be. And I got the Olay chant. So I'm happy.
The crowd,
all good.
I don't know that I've ever seen a better wrestling crowd than the Puerto Rico crowd. That
Last
was
time
amazing.
I've seen good crowd like that, honest to God, it was a Canadian crowd. It was Montreal crowd.
Yeah. The crowd was amazing. So going into this, we didn't stream that pay-per-view because I didn't really have much of an interest in watching it. And you said you were on call, so I'm like, we just won't watch it. And then I watched it, we just didn't stream it. And man, was that there wasn't a bad match. That
was amazing.
And now what sucks is the next one is Night of Champions, and I'm over here like I'm thinking the same thing. Like I don't really care. I'll watch it, but who cares? But now it's like, man, maybe I need to watch it. But
I mean, it does actually have the end of the tournament going for it,
right.
I guess.
But so Backlash was wild. It was incredibly good. I was shocked how good it was. But they started things off with the Bianca versus Io Sky women's title match.
Yep.
That was so bizarre because the crowd just shat all over Bianca Belair, the babyface.
They
and just
were not happy.
Loved
about that.
Io Sky, the heel. So that was super weird.
And if I'm honest, I'm on their side. I'll be honest with you, I'm tired of Bianca Belair a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, her run's been good, and I'm not, it's been
no,
fine.
No, I'm
but
not gonna
I'm down.
never take away from that. I'm just okay with not seeing it anymore.
She's trying to. She's the new John Cena.
She is
really good with the children crowd and
yes,
all of that.
She is female John Cena for sure.
But
they finally found a female John Cena.
That match, that opening match, Bianca Belair versus Io Sky, I would almost say that was the best actual match of the show. Like actual match. That was probably the best match. That match was really fucking good.
Dude, Io is as good as she always was. And you thought she was going to win. And
Damage Control came out there and still Bianca Belair won.
Well, that's because Bianca Belair won because we're going to blame Bayley for this because that's how they're going to break up.
Yep.
Because we got to be done with Damage Control. It's just not fun anymore for anybody.
It's time to move on. Or if we're going to... I don't know, Io Sky, regardless of anything, Io Sky, just let her do her own thing. That was great. Just let her do her own shit, because that was
Io
great.
Can be great, or they can kick Io out of Damage Control, and Damage Control can be a tag team of Bayley and what's her name? Jesus, why did I forget her name? Dakota Kai. Fuck, I feel bad. I like Dakota Kai too.
Yeah, no, I think they're all great, but
fantastic. It's just
Io Sky is the shit right
I really do want Io Sky by herself, and I want more just Io Sky versus anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But if we can see another Io Sky versus Asuka, that would be fantastic. Thank you. Because that's a fucking killer match every time.
So then after that,
Seth Rollins and Omos had a good match.
Seth Rollins and Omos, which again, why would anybody book that? That's fucking crazy. And you go into it just expecting the worst. Somehow they did it. And honestly, I would argue that this was probably Omos's best match.
If you would have said that last
year,
his best match.
If you would have said that last year, that wouldn't have meant much. But now that he's had several other pretty good matches, this is absolutely the best match that he's had. And it was really for what it was, and and the Seth Rollins and Omos pairing, the size difference and whatnot. They made it work, and it was so good. We had the fucking the avalanche stomp. And then the one where
so good.
The one where he goes to do the stomp and Omos is just nope.
Nope, not happening. I ain't gonna let you do it.
Him off. It was so good. I loved it. It was great. They did very well with it. I'm a big fan.
Really good. I'm gonna tell you the most interesting stat about that. How long do you think that match lasted? Or match lasted?
8 minutes.
10:31.
Not too far off.
That was a 10-minute match.
I figured it would be around 10 minutes.
I figured it would be a 5-minute match. That was a 10-minute match. It didn't feel like a 10-minute Omos match.
That's why, going into it, I just assumed that it was going to be a 5-minute match. But it was I was like, dude, they're really going. They're really going with this.
Didn't hate any of it. It was good.
It was great. They made it work. They made a weird pairing work very well, and it was fantastic.
I always say this because I always make jokes about on stream with Omos and everything. He done so much. He's worked. He looks like it. He looks different. He works differently. He doesn't look as awkward anymore.
And
he's putting time in. Fucking dope.
Seth
good for
Rollins
him.
Made Omos look so fucking good.
So good.
Holy shit.
They both did. Omos did what Seth told him to do, I'm sure, and what MVP said to do, and whoever booked the match, whoever did the production for it. Whoever, he just listened and did what they said, which is all you need for those people to do, because Seth will make you look good, because if you look good, he looks good. And MVP is gonna make you look good because he's gotta be the guy that stands next to you.
Yeah.
So those people are gonna take care of you. Omos looked great, and like I said, I don't think it's just all on Seth making you look good.
Right.
He
No.
obviously put, we both say that he obviously put some effort in, has put some effort in, learned stuff and done stuff and made himself look good. So it's good. We're going in a good
It's
direction.
different than
with
watching something like the Great Khali. Like I feel like Omos is like,
well, that's
he's
because
actually convincing.
That's because of the age difference of when you look at when the Great Khali showed up and what we have now with Omos. Omos is still young and able to continue to go. If you look at that old video that everybody posts of the Great Khali leaping over the top rope in to get in, that's a whole different human being.
He's 50. He's fucking 50.
Who is Omos?
No.
I was gonna say, fuck me, Great Khali. Yeah, no.
Omos is only 28. I thought he was like 42 or something.
No, I knew he wasn't very old. Like he's still that's what I'm saying. He's still in a good physical shape for a big guy. He doesn't have a whole lot left because he's a big guy and that takes a whole toll. But for what he's got right now, he's good and he could do it and keep himself. He could still do it and be safe and work. And as long as he's working to look good and be safe and keep yourself healthy, because that's fine. I'm good with you cutting some corners to keep yourself healthy as a big guy like that. That's harsh on them. So fine, whatever. You only work limited stuff. Great. Just make it look good. I'll have fun with it. Everybody else will make you look good. Cool. Seth Rollins in a match with that. Didn't think it was going to be fun. I enjoyed it a whole hell of a lot.
It was better than his WrestleMania match, and even that I thought was pretty goddamn entertaining.
Pretty damn good. And this was way better, I think.
But after that, we got the U.S. title match. I think this was probably my least favorite match of the show, but it still was a very solid match. It just wasn't super noteworthy.
Yeah. It was okay. It was all right.
Theory, Lashley, and Bronson Reed are all great. I was more excited to see Bronson Reed in a pay-per-view title match. That was fucking dope to see.
That was cool.
They all did great. It was a good match, but there wasn't anything super noteworthy about it. Obviously, Austin Theory won. He's won by literally stealing the pin, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he definitely stole the pin, and that was the whole point. It was just Austin Theory being more Austin Theory. It was only a 7-minute match, so it didn't go very long, but it was fine for what it was.
It was a solid
great
match.
It was a good match after everybody was surprised by Omos that you thought was going to be cool down a little bit. Now we got a triple threat. But that one after that, it's it's all right. I guess I'll watch Austin Theory, Bobby Lashley, and Bronson Reed. Who thought that after Omos?
Right.
Who saw that match card and goes, oh, that's definitely the one that's less interesting.
Well, after the triple threat, we got the other contender for least interesting match of the night, and it's
is
a
my
little bit
least favorite.
I think this, as far as the matches go of the show, this is probably the worst match of the show. But the match wasn't bad. It was really short. They could have made it longer. They didn't really do a whole lot. But the big thing with this match is Zelina Vega's entrance. She made her entrance wearing the big Puerto Rican flag outfit.
Yeah.
And
more red, white, and blue for everybody.
Fucking crowd exploded.
Listen, they always talk about the exact same things with Zelina Vega, but let's be honest, the reason why Puerto Rico exploded, she's a Puerto Rican girl from the Bronx whose dad died in 9/11. Why? How do you not cheer for that woman?
Dude,
who looks at that and goes, nah, she's all right.
The crowd lost their shit, and Zelina Vega also lost her shit. She was literally just bawling by the time she got to the ring. Making everybody just fucking sob, dude. That you could just tell that was the best moment of her entire life.
It was the ultimate baby face thing to do to get all welled up and stuff. And then, to their credit, they still played it right. Rhea did the ultimate heel shit to her and made fun of her in front of her home crowd. So fuck yeah.
She obviously wasn't going to win. The match wasn't super interesting. It wasn't super long, but the highlight of that whole thing was her entrance. And then after the match finished, which is another thing that I thought about, they probably made the match a little bit shorter so that they could
Because they
give
knew
her
that they were gonna
time.
go along at the end. Yeah.
Right, so they could give her Zelina
makes
Vega
sense.
time to sit there in the ring and like kind of take everything in and whatnot. And it was such a great moment. It was so awesome. Just freaking
You know what the problem
make everybody
with
cry.
that is? That the thing about that, because I saw somebody else react to it and talk about it, and the comment, the guy goes, "Oh, you know why she's crying? It's because they screwed her up so bad that's the biggest pop she's had in a long ass time." And I was like, "That's the fucked up,
That's
but
the
that's
biggest
true."
pop that anybody's fucking had like ever.
No, there's been bigger pops. It's fine, but that's not the point. The point is he's not wrong. Zelina's fantastic. What are we doing with her? She's either been Andrade, like standing next to Andrade when he was there, or she's been standing next to LWO when they're there.
So that's
Or
another
Legado del Fantasma.
like small thing. So while in Puerto Rico, all of LWO got matching LWO tattoos while they were there. Every single person.
Dope. Good
So I
for
thought
them.
that was
That's
neat.
fucking dope.
The other thing was Judgment Day also did the same thing. They didn't get like the same tattoos, but they all got like group tattoos.
Judgment Day tattoos.
Yeah,
That's
so
cool.
I thought that was kind of neat.
I mean, that's big for like LWO is cool because it's got history. Judgment Day's
Right.
fun because it's a goofy gimmick, and I'm kind of starting to be like, but it's kind of starting to win me back. Just a little bit.
They're doing better
It's
now.
winning
They're definitely
winning me back just a little bit, and I like. Dude, Dominic had a match on Raw.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
And I liked it. It was fun. So like, they're drawing me back in. They're getting me back in. It's fun, and great because that's a big deal for Dom. Dom's not under his dad. He worked with his dad, and he's wrestled his dad fine, but he's not on his dad's team anymore.
Yeah.
He's actively a bad guy. He's
Yep.
going down a different road. It's fun and it's good for him, and he's gonna find it. And I think he'll just be at some point he may be a good Eddie kind of heel like he's turning into right now, and we're seeing that progression. Cool. I like it now. It's starting to get more fun. Like when it was just the three of them after Edge, like the whole thing was annoying. And then for some reason, I guess it's just because of how awkward Dominic has been getting into this character of being a bad guy, that slowly see it shift into like, oh, now we've got the Eddie haircut. Now we're wearing Eddie's trunks. Okay. All right. Now we're going down this road, and it's worked out. So cool. Good for all of them, because those are, like I said, history on one, and a whole new group of people that have gotten actually enjoy on the stuff. But I don't know, man. The Rhea Ripley thing and the Zelina Vega thing, going back to that, I don't like that they only gave her 7 minutes, and I don't like that they don't give Zelina Vega more.
I honestly didn't even realize that it was even 7 minutes. I thought it was shorter.
7 minutes 14 seconds is how much it was.
But
my thing about
the
it
highlight
is
of the whole
better than
thing
that.
was just her like taking everything in the entrance and the aftermath of everything. Like that was just a nice moment.
Oh, absolutely. No, it was good
regardless
for her.
of the match.
You got the hometown pop.
And even the match
then
wasn't
the other
bad. It
hometown
just
thing.
wasn't as it wasn't as good as it could have been. But
the other hometown thing.
All right, so this next match is the biggest like poor decision making ever.
It was the best decision making I've ever seen, because I had way too much fun watching.
Poor decision making, as in this should not have been the main event.
Oh no, that was a bad idea. That was stupid.
This next
I don't
match,
know who decided this.
After that, we had Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest, not the main event, which I saw. So they were back and forth on what was supposedly going to be the main event of the show. Even leading up to the pay-per-view, they still were uncertain on what they were going to make, and this was like the last-minute decision. The last-minute decision was to not make it the main event, but Michael Cole, or I don't even know who the fuck said it, it's like, all right, well, tonight for the first time ever, we got a special double main event. I'm like, no, that's not how that works. You can't have a match, 2 matches before the fucking main event, and then just call it a double main event. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
That was my problem. It wasn't even that it was like the last 2 matches, which I could have gotten behind.
Right. It was a
match,
then a
then
match,
the fucking
then the real
tag
main
match,
event.
and then a main event. It's like, that doesn't make any sense.
Way that
How are we doing this?
The last 3 matches were structured were so dumb.
Because I'm looking at this. Do you know the 2 matches that should have been main event? Bad Bunny and the Usos versus Bad Bunny and Damian Priest, and then the Usos and Sikoa versus Sami Zayn and Riddle and Owens. Those are the two co-main events. Those two got 25 minutes and 22 minutes. How are those not the main events? How do we get a 10-minute
match?
match?
Way less interesting than the Brock and Cody match.
No, I loved it. There was a whole lot more subtext.
I didn't. The match. I'm at the point where I'm tired of seeing them together, so it's like I don't much care anymore. But we'll get to that in a moment.
But
we're on
match
Bad Bunny and Damian Priest.
This whole fucking circus.
It's one of those things
shit.
where it's like they're like it's like a weird pairing to bring Bad Bunny in. Like, what could they possibly like do? And
what could they possibly do? Who knew?
Like, what a weird Damian Priest. Like, we're gonna get that guy to main event against fucking like superstar Bad Bunny.
You took the most awkward looking athlete in the entire world and put him up against a rapper that's like shorter than him.
Yeah.
Smaller than him.
Well, I think most people are shorter than him, to be fair.
Oh, that's true. He's a large Puerto Rican man.
But
very large Puerto Rican man.
Match was so fucking good.
Fucking amazing.
The most entertaining thing I have seen in some time.
It was a circus in the best way possible. And it was 3 rings, fucking elephants, the whole 9 yards.
We had
acrobats.
We started off strong with Bad Bunny walking out. He's like, "Oh wait, hold on, let me get my shopping cart of fucking weapons that I just have."
Well, because it's a hardcore match. We know that's happening, and that's also a very Puerto Rican thing to do, is to walk in with a shopping cart full of weapons, because they're good at hardcore wrestling, guys. That wasn't anything mean. They're very known for hardcore wrestling.
Technically, Bad Bunny has joined LWO before this, so this plays into later in the match. We had
before that he had in one of the promos they gave him a Puerto Rican flag kendo stick that was given to him by Savio Vega.
Yeah. So
fucking Savio Vega.
Yeah, who was also there. I forgot about that. But we got later in the match, the fucking Damian Priest, that guy.
Yeah.
His Judgment Day friends came out to interfere, but then all of LWO comes out to interfere, and they were taken out and taken down. All of LWO, and then. One of the most insane things that I have ever witnessed in my life. Motherfucking Carlito.
Right before that, we got the stare down between Finn, Dom, and Savio Vega. The old fat man standing in the way.
Well, Savio Vega came out afterwards.
Then Carlito came out. I thought he came out last. I thought Carlito was the last one.
I don't think so. I could be wrong.
Yeah, because that was the whole point. Because they went to go run away.
Ray and Carlito cleared the ring, and when they were trying to leave, Savio Vega cut him off. But
that's right.
Carlito,
holy shit!
So Carlito, he was one of the dudes that was he was top mid card guy. When I watch regularly, and I'm just sitting there, I loved Carlito back in the day. And I'm just sitting there, and I heard the music, that Cabana music. I'm like,
yes.
I was like, is that Carlito's entrance? And goddamn it, there he was, looking better than I've ever seen him, rocking a fucking goatee. Runs down there to possibly the biggest crowd eruption I have ever heard in my life. Carlito, of all people,
including in my house, where I freaked out because Carlito showed up for this fucking shit. And was like, the fuck is Carlito doing here? The fuck?
I
should have known it was in Puerto Rico.
I think that is probably the biggest pop I have ever witnessed. This was even bigger than Zelina Vega's, and hers was fucking crazy.
This was bigger than Punk in Chicago.
Yes! This Puerto Rican crowd, dude, it was wild. Every crowd, and you know what was really sad is the Raw after that show had probably the shittiest fucking crowd that I have seen in some time.
Well, you heard about that with the crowd. They had to pipe in the booze for the Cody Rhodes segment.
To go slightly off track here, I do want to mention. So during the Brock Lesnar segment and some of the other segments, they piped in booze and whatnot. And
was
you
not
could
just
hardly hear what fucking Brock was saying, and everybody complained about it. But WWE did at least say that was not the right call, and they agreed that was not what they should have done. And
the funny thing about that was that they weren't just piping it into like the audio that you would normally, like they used to do. They were doing it in the stadium.
The problem with
through the speakers.
The problem with the crowd noise is I don't even care that much, but the problem with it is when you've got a dead, silent fucking crowd and Brock Lesnar's giving a promo and you're pumping in all this noise, and then you're looking at the crowd behind you, and the crowd in the front row just sitting there. They're just sitting there on their fucking cell phones, not making a goddamn sound. Like, that just doesn't look right. But
can we really get back to, you know what? You know who I'm actually turning on right now, who I'm turning or has me on their side now, is Glasses Guy a few weeks ago at Dynamite. Because Homeboy was into it and standing up and interacting. Most of these motherfuckers are sitting. You remember what's his name?
Which brand? Fat Joe?
Fat Joe.
I really hope that guy got hit by a bus on his way to his car.
Oh, no, I'm not saying he shouldn't have been hit by a bus. That's fine, too. But I'm on his side a little bit. Homeboy was at least into it. They were at least having fun at that crowd. Most of these crowds, most crowds I'm looking at, I'm like, okay, well, I'm not there. But shit, dude. I went to a concert and I just fucking rocked out for a whole 3 hours. How can you people not just get into what's going on? I know that you're supposed to be quiet. You can't be yelling all the time, but holy shit, dude. Have fun. Yell at the fucking crowd. Like, yell at the other, like, the wrestlers. That's the whole point. It's supposed to be interactive. But what are you people doing? Like, it feels like not only is there a problem with WWE product, possibly, but also there's a problem with the people that go and watch. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of both.
But so the Damian Priest Bad Bunny match, we had all that interference. Carlito, like Savio Vega came out there, fucking great match. It was awesome. The crowd was just so good, and Bad Bunny, ended it with a Canadian Destroyer. And from what I've read so far, it's like Damian Priest exceeded every expectation the WWE had. They were so impressed with him, and he's apparently now being labeled as like a top Raw guy.
As he should be.
After that, dude, he made him look so fucking good. It was just incredible.
They made each other look great because even the selling from Bad Bunny made Damian Priest look like he was powerful.
Dude, look, like watching him do that like a Canadian Destroyer to like such a huge dude like Damian Priest.
He's a large, lanky dude.
They made it look so good. It's great.
They did. They both did great. And like I said, Damian Priest made Bad Bunny look like he was, the underdog guy that got over and got some stuff in, and had people around him to help him when other people were, ganging up on him.
Yeah.
But Bad Bunny made him look like a guy that was beating the living shit out of somebody that was smaller than him, like he was.
Mm-hmm.
It looked great for both of them. And Damian Priest is somebody that I'm like, I can't stand watching him most of the time. Recently, though, I don't hate watching him, and he's really fucking good. Damian Priest is fantastic. So yeah, he should be thought of as a top guy because he'll make it. He'll get me given a Bad Bunny match and go, I can make it work.
Yeah,
twice. He's done that twice because he was a tag team with him.
Yeah. But before we run out of time, we got 2 matches.
A match and a half
on Backlash. So the Bloodline match and whatever said this was more of like. It was more of showing the cracks in the story of the Bloodline, and I've seen enough cracks. I want to start seeing shards of pieces on the ground.
Well, hopefully they kind of skipped over all of that Monday. It really wasn't quite as, because they're not on Raw. They weren't on this week.
Yeah.
So that was good. That's a good thing. We can let it fester for a little bit.
There's a lot of subtlety that with what Solo Sikoa is doing. That is adding like all of this like slight story stuff, and it's really actually fucking great.
Holy shit, Solo's good at what he's doing. Solo's not one of those guys that I would have thought would like character part. He's just a big guy that's good at wrestling. Cool, that's all we need him to be. He can shut up and not. But the whole his facial reactions, his facial his just how he characterization of how he does with his face when he's like looking at his brother, when he's looking at everybody else. The interaction when Jay finally looked at him, he said, "You're our brother, not his."
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
yelled that at him. I was like, and the look on his face when he finally got that part was huge. I mean, Matt Riddle ate a pin, so that kind of sucks, but whatever.
Well, he needed to be the one to eat it.
He can eat the pin.
That was why he was in the match, is so he could
That was
eat the
literally
pin.
why it was a triple threat. It's so that we could get the cracks between the Usos and Solo, and Riddle can eat the pin, because that still means, and Solo pinned him, so that means Solo is still on what's his name's on Roman's good side, because he got the pin, and it makes Jay and them look not as great, and all that shit that happened in the match, and that's going to be brought up probably Friday.
Yeah.
Hopefully we start to see shit just falling the fuck apart on TV. That would be great.
But
let's get this done and over with.
Before we're running out of time, we got one more Backlash match. The main event that shouldn't have been the main event. This was it's another one where I'm like, I don't really care about this booking. I don't give a shit. But the match was very good for a Brock Lesnar match, I feel. Like, I was enjoying it.
Well, no, that's kind of unfair. Well, no, it's fair. Because Brock either does amazing or just doesn't give a shit.
I feel like the thing with Brock Lesnar is, like, you can tell when he doesn't give a shit about, like, how he's being booked in something, and then when he does give a shit. Like, this match...
Or when he likes somebody.
Right.
He'll give him whatever.
Like Brock Lesnar wanted this. And not only did they allow Lesnar to bleed, he allowed Cody to make him bleed the hard way. They didn't bleed.
He hard-wayed the shit out of that,
He hard-way
man.
busted his ass wide open.
Did you see the face on Raw?
The stitches.
The scar?
The stitches and the fucking black eye?
That was staples. Those were fucking metal staples.
Difference, but like
holy shit.
He had the big fucking like staples there. He had a black fucking eye, dude. Like Cody, I was just dumbfounded because like when you see somebody bleed as much as Brock Lesnar did on modern WWE, you're just automatically like, okay, well that was just an accident. Like they didn't do that on purpose. But like you see what you saw that. And then the things that came afterwards, like you could tell that was a planned spot. Like
as soon as that came off, and I saw him going towards it, I was like, he wanted blood. Everybody wanted blood, but they didn't want a blade because they can't do that anymore.
This is what's so insane to me. It's like, what is worse? Like throwing somebody as hard as you can, head first into the turnbuckle, like as hard as you can, or fucking slightly blading his forehead, you know? Like
the thought behind it was they can play it off as incidental blood and they can get away with it. But everybody knew as soon as that was happening, as soon as you take off the fucking pad, somebody's going into it or somebody's bleeding, and it was gonna be Brock because Brock is just as carny as they come to.
And like that's just the
two carnies in the match, so it was a coin toss.
The fact that he allowed Cody to do that, and it's not even like doing it the hard way.
It wasn't even that like Cody did anything to him. He did that. He ran head first.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like
he allowed that to happen.
He allowed like that to happen within the match, is what I mean.
Oh, true.
That's like I feel like if anybody has, creative air quote control over a lot of what they do, it is probably Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is.
So
Brock,
if he didn't want that to happen, it would not have happened.
Well, they've always talked about that. Cody is somebody who Brock likes. Cody's even said, Brock likes me. Brock's good to me. I don't know what everybody's deal with Brock is. So Brock likes Cody. Brock wants Cody going places.
They did a great match.
Makes him look good.
I enjoyed the shit out of it. It was somehow really good. And then not only did Cody Rhodes win, he fucking won clean. A clean win over Brock Lesnar after busting his fucking ass open. It was not it wasn't like
clean, but it's still enough.
It was technically a clean win, but like it wasn't like I'm gonna do my finisher pin.
Yeah, no, it wasn't like he was.
What is it, Chimera lock? And he got the pin on. Yeah, Brock Lesnar had the lock on him, and Cody Rhodes was able to get a pin while he had him in the lock. So it was like an oopsie pin, but it was still a clean pin technically.
No, it was a smart pin is what it was, and it made that was one of those unsatisfying things where it's like he didn't get pinned where he did the finisher and pinned him. So it pisses Brock off, which is why we have this stupid fucking thing with him coming back the next night.
I I don't remember if I posted in Discord or on Twitter. I'm like, but after that had happened and they announced the tournament people and whatnot, I'm like, there is no shot that Cody Rhodes is going to make it through that tournament. Brock Lesnar's going to come out there and cost him that tournament. And boy, did he fucking do it. That is exactly what happened.
Every fucking time. Every time.
Because I was like, it's kind of a blessing because I'm sitting here like, do not let Cody Rhodes win this stupid fucking tournament. He doesn't need the world belt. He needs to take the belts off Roman. That's what needs to happen. That's where we need to go. So now that we've transitioned, he got like taken out by Brock Lesnar, and Seth Rollins won. That's who needed to win. And now we go over to SmackDown. There's like all six people in that tournament. I don't give a shit who wins. Whoever wins that is versing Seth Rollins, and any of those people versus Seth Rollins at Night of Champions is going to be fucking awesome.
When you look at who is it that's doing in that?
It's AJ Styles, Edge, Rey Mysterio, Sheamus, and Austin Theory.
I literally thought they were going to send all people that you knew were not going to win that on that, but they literally picked anybody in that fucking bunch.
Realistically, it's still Seth Rollins is going to win. He's the only one on Raw,
Absolutely.
and he is the one. He is the next in line. He should have been the one to take the belts off Roman forever ago. But that's a whole different thing. He's getting the world heavyweight belt, and whoever he's going to fight, it's going to be great.
Edge.
I don't remember who the sixth person was. I want to say it was Austin Theory. But I could be wrong.
Because Austin's on the other show.
He's on Raw. No, he's on SmackDown. He got drafted.
Okay, then Gunther's on Raw.
Yeah, Gunther's on Raw. I didn't say Gunther.
That's why I got them backwards. I got them backwards.
Yeah.
I got them backwards on which one they're going to. Oh, that's right. Because what's her name got sent to Raw so she could announce them because they like the way she announces Imperium and their names.
Yep. But
oh, that's great.
So that was good. Now after everything that happened on Raw and whatnot, as I said, Brock Lesnar attacked Cody. It was a wonderful, kind of terrifying promo, especially with his terrifying face right now. And I don't much care to see round 2 of Cody and Brock, but I'm not upset, really.
Yeah, I don't like how we've just basically prolonged everything to get somewhere.
I know, and it's like, I feel like, the Backlash and Night of Champions, these pay-per-views are off because they're overseas and they're not, they don't feel right.
I'm tired of people calling Puerto Rico overseas. It's literally just like in the Caribbean.
There's a sea. There is
a small one. It's
still
close to Florida. Is it closer to Florida than Cuba is?
No, but regardless, like it's like the card for that was like they wouldn't have booked a normal pay-per-view like that. Like that was a weird card.
No.
So Night of Champions will probably be the same way, and that's fine. I kind of like these fun cards, but they're not. It's like they have a different vibe. So obviously, when they're they're gonna go to the Saudi show, they're gonna get the big names in there. So it's like, okay, well, we'll just make this Cody and Brock thing happen again, and then maybe we'll drop it after that. I don't know. Probably not. Who knows? But
nope, run it back again. Like the old fucking Brock versus Roman shit.
Well, anyways, I think that pretty much wraps up the exciting stuff.
Basically.
There's some little stuff here and there, but we are out of time for today. So Backlash was great. If you didn't watch it, definitely do that. I'm excited about hopefully
AEW shit to make sure.
Yes, I'm really hoping the AEW shit gets goes through and we don't have to pay $50 a month for pay-per-views anymore. That'll or 3 months or whatever per show. I mean,
$50 a pop.
Per
we'll
show.
put it that way.
Yeah. So I don't know, but anyways, that's gonna do it for tonight. So if you have not liked the video, you should definitely do so. If you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to do that. All the social links and whatnot are in the description below, including the link to the podcast on Spotify if you've not followed that there. Be sure to post your thoughts in the comments section and whatnot.
Yep.
And as usual, we'll be live reacting to AEW Dynamite every Wednesday. So be sure to check that out, 8 p.m. Eastern. So, anyways, peace out, everyone. Take it easy. Have a good one. And we will see you all next time.
Bye.